This is the Turtle Dojo, hosted by Adam and Chris.
Welcome to another episode of the Turtle Dojo, a TMNT podcast and vidcast. As always, I'm your host, Adam. And with me is my co-host, Chris. Chris, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing well. It's always fun to talk with you, and then to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is also a fun experience. One of my childhood favorites, and still going strong.
It feels like TMNT is the fandom that won't go away because, as a kid, it was popular. As a teenage, growing up, it was popular. Now, as an adult, it's still popular.
It's still popular. Yeah, it's maintained its status, really.
Not many franchises have done that over there, unless it's like Batman or Spider-Man.
Yeah, they've waned, right? Like even Batman waned a little bit because of the movies from.
Yeah, there was a period where it was quiet on the Batman front, but it wasn't long, and we still had animated stuff.
Yeah, the animated stuff was still coming. The comics were still coming.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of stuff always around.
Well, I think of another favorite of ours, Masters of the Universe. That's kind of where my mind goes. That
right, but Masters of the Universe was there was a quiet, there were some toys, but it was quiet.
Right, it was dead silence for a long time.
There was a point where I'm like, man, we're never going to see anything from that franchise again. But we're kind of in a renaissance for that one, and I'm happy for it. But yeah, TMNT has never kind of had that lull, that dip. You know what I mean? It's always just been there. It's like comfort, they're like comfort food. You know what I mean? Like when you're down and you need some fun, it's like, yeah.
There's always a comic or an animated series. We've had several movies,
and I wish there was another one sooner than the animated the sequel to
in Mayhem.
Yeah,
there's
so many damn titles. I forgot what.
I think we're still getting the one from Colin Jost.
No, that was one of the live action ones. I haven't heard about that in a while.
That's been real quiet. I don't know if
that's. I think that one's gone. I think the closest thing we have, the hope that we have for the live action is the Last Ronin, which we haven't really heard anything since they hired the writer. But I understand that because Paramount's going through some changes. So I didn't expect to hear anything from that yet. I'm assuming that once the dust settles, we'll start hearing more about that.
I'm actually more excited for the video game adaptation than I am the movie.
Well, mainly just because we don't know much about the movie yet, but
I just want to play TMNT.
So. Yeah, but like I said, I think that once the new iteration of Paramount Skydance or whatever the hell they're calling themselves, once they get settled, I'm sure the incoming CEO or whoever he is going to look at that and is probably going to say, yeah, we're going to push forward with that just because look at the sales figures for Last Ronin. Like that initial book has been out for 4 or 5 years now, and it's constantly month in, month out in the top seller for graphic novels.
Yeah, and actually,
which is ridiculous.
I know when this is going to upload, but it's currently on sale on Amazon for like $17, and that's the hardcover.
You know what's troubling for me is that I have the physical issues, but I am so tempted to buy the hardcover.
It's nice. That's the one I have. It's really nice.
And the reason why it's because the single issues are bigger, they're like the original old, the old school TMNT.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're bigger, and in terms of space, it's like where the hell am I gonna keep these, right? So I'm thinking of kind of doing a transition for the hardcover.
The hardcover is like a little encyclopedia, though. It's pretty large.
Well, I could. Worst comes to worst, if somebody attacks the house, I can use it as a foreign object.
Yeah, you can just throw this hardcover and you're good. I mean, they're down.
So back to the point. I think we'll hear stuff about Last Ronin, the movie, once the dust settles and things calm down over at Paramount. I imagine he'd want to do more with Star Trek as well, because
I think Star Trek. They're gonna look at all their franchise. I would imagine, like Transformers, Star Trek.
TMNT. Those are the big ones they have.
That's the big three. I think they might have something else. Is Voltron theirs? Or Voltron's already getting made. Never mind.
I don't think Voltron is theirs.
Well, I think that's in the process of filming.
With Voltron, I think it's a case of they're deciding, whoever owns that. It might be Universal.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're deciding whether they're going to actually give it a theatrical release or put it on streaming. That's the last I heard. But I don't know. But yeah, I think they've got three big franchises. I mean, can we really count? I mean, Mission Impossible is a franchise, but it's not an IP on the level of, in terms of branding. Like you can't sell Mission Impossible. I mean, you could. Mission Impossible toys, right?
Tom Cruise won't let it happen. No.
Right. And how much more juice does that franchise have in it?
If you could sideline him, I think you could you could get a lot out of it going forward. But
would people want to watch without him? Like, I think he's.
I actually would, to be honest. But that just.
Yeah, I know you and I would, but I'm like the general movie-going people. Would they like?
I don't know. It seemed like they were tired of him with this last one, but we'll see.
So they do have three big franchises. So I'd imagine that they're going to be like, okay, we got to start pumping out more of this stuff because they're going to want to make as quick a buck as possible to kind of recoup from all the chaos that's going on now.
Yes, kind of like what WB did.
Yeah. So I'm not worried that we haven't really heard much yet because I kind of expected that given what's going on over there. But before we get into, because we're going to focus on comics today, specifically the first 4 issues of the latest edition of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ongoing series, which is currently being, these 4 were all written by Jason Aaron, but then all drawn by different artists. So we're going to talk, that's going to be the meat and potatoes of the show. But as we always do with any of the IP we cover, if there's news, we delve into it. And there is, and again, for right now, all the news involving TMNT is on the comic front. We've been talking about Last Ronin and how the first volume is currently on sale on Amazon as of this recording. There was a prequel to that story, which was TMNT, The Last Ronin, The Lost Years, which I'm pretty sure you can get in hardcover as well. That was a really good story because it kind of gave you an idea of what The Last Ronin. I mean, at this point, I think I could spoil who it is. I mean, the book's been out for 4 or 5 years.
I actually avoided the spoiler until I read the book last year, which was kind of crazy.
Okay, so in case you've been living under a rock and haven't read the book yet, no, I'm talking about the first one because that's all you really need to know leading to this one. But the Lost Years chronicles what the Last Ronin was doing before he got back to New York in The Last Ronin. So that's important. Then there was a sequel, which just wrapped up a few months ago. That was called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution. I can't really tell you what that was about because that was spoiled Last Ronin. But all I can say is it was really good, and I suggest that everyone who's going to read or has read The Last Ronin, do yourself a favor and read that. It was really well done and had some massive changes for this iteration of the universe.
Was it the same writer?
Yes, Tom Waltz and the co-creator of the TMNT, Kevin Eastman.
Kevin, okay.
And they announced at Comic-Con that in 2026 there's going to be a TMNT, The Last Ronin, Volume 3. Surprising no one, because when the first volume is still in the top selling graphic novels and the prequel and the sequel are not far behind it, well, the chances of a Volume 3 are very high. And so we're getting, in 2026, Volume 3. So just not having read the other two, Chris, what do you think of this franchise continuing?
So I didn't know the sequel happened already, but now that I do know, I want to track it down. I think that this universe is just really cool. I really like the idea of having these kind of Elseworlds around established characters because it's an easy entry point. And so, like for me, I had never read the TMNT comics before. I'd only seen the movies. I love the animated stuff. Never read the comics. Last Ronin was the first book I read from TMNT. I was able to pick it up. I understood what it was. It was awesome. So I'm happy that this universe is going to keep going, and I will be catching up with it. I'll have to read the prequel, and then I'll get to the sequel.
I'm glad that see, and that's one of the things they did really well, because you didn't have to have read any other incarnation of the comics to understand what the hell was going on. If you did, all it did was give you added sort of context and history, right? But if you didn't, and it's more the history that you've built up with the brand yourself,
right?
If you've read the stuff, but if you didn't, all you had to know was, okay, the four turtles are these guys.
That's what I was going to say. That's really, as long as you understand the baseline of
Their
who the turtles are.
Shredder, right? And,
they fight the Foot Clan. Splinter is a rat. It's their father. That's all you need.
Yeah. So they did it very, like, it was very, very welcoming, very new reader friendly. I'm
new reader. That's the word of the day.
That's a new one. I'm going to devolve into shipping names next. But yeah, so I'm definitely excited for Volume 3. And like I said, I hope this goes well beyond the Volume 3 because I love this iteration of the universe.
It's just cool to have this extra, I think, because you look at other comic brands like, Marvel and DC have their own Elseworlds universes now, and they're killing it. These Elseworld things work.
I'm especially still floored how well the Absolute Edition, the volume is doing.
Yeah, I not to go off on a tangent, but the Absolute hardcover's coming for Batman. That thing is going to sell. I think we're going to see that in Last Ronin fighting for spots.
Look, if that doesn't get an animated, directed Blu-ray movie, then I don't know what the hell Warner Brothers is doing. But I digress. That's neither here nor there.
Next week.
that's a different podcast on the same network, but different podcast. But yeah, so the other thing I'll say before moving on to the mainline comic is that one of the things I thought of immediately when I read The Last Ronin was that when I was reading it in my head, this was before we knew that there was a live action version in development. In my head, I had concocted a scenario where this is the sequel to the 3 live action turtle movies that started in the 90s. Like, this would be a great sequel.
Ooh. You know what?
And what I mean by that is, you know how they made the suits and how they looked? That's what I want from the Last Ronin movie. I want them to look like that.
I think that's what everybody wants. I don't know any fan who can. Now, if you are out there, I'm not picking on you or anything. I'm just saying, I think most fans do want to bring back the Jim Henson suit look. I think that if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, use CGI to augment.
Yeah.
But I don't need 4 guys running around in gray pajamas.
Don't need the Bay suits, which, the Bay Turtles were cool for what they were.
And look, I enjoyed those movies for what they were. Yeah. I mean, Arrow as Casey Jones, I could have.
I didn't mind him, but I mean, you could.
I know we could have had a better actor, but I digress.
I think the suits can still work practically. They just, I don't know if they're cheaper or more expensive, but I think they could still do it. And like you said, you could augment them with CGI. Like if you want the faces to do specific things, that's what CGI is for.
And if you said it in the world of those films, look, I know people get upset when you talk about nostalgia, but just look at what Deadpool and Wolverine did. Okay.
Different beast, though. I don't know if I would want it set that way.
But there is such a yearning for that look.
Yeah.
And I think you can only start off on a positive if you come out and once this thing is ready to go, announce that, hey, we're going back to to something closer to the original look.
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay. I thought you meant go to the timeline and just in continuity.
Well, I mean, look,
Because I think you could do that. You could just update them, and they
I
would look
know there's
different.
pie in the sky talk from Kevin Eastman that if he had his way, if they asked him, he would tell the studio to cast the original April as April.
I could see them doing that.
And given the parameters of that story, I think that would work.
Well, I think it was the writer or the director.
Somebody said something, but along those lines.
He said that he is writing a version of a movie. He's writing a movie, a live action movie for the studio to hand in and see where it goes. So I forgot about that till just now. But if they want, I think that the Turtles can look different enough. They don't have to look exactly like they did in the 90s.
No, but in the spirit of that, you know what I mean? I think because
the rubber suits, you can do a lot with it.
I mean, it's still like the fact that 1990s movie, in terms of the live action space, is still the best one we've had.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what more to tell you.
It works. That is the blueprint, as they say.
I
think now. I don't know if you agree with this. I think each turtle has more personality now than they ever did. In my opinion, like when you read the comic, they are much more distinct.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
Even little visual touches, like Raph always has the bandana like over his whole head now.
Right.
Donnie usually has glasses now.
Yeah.
There's little things that define them a little bit.
Yeah, so you can add to the look and to the personalities, but like I said, you just go closer to that visual aesthetic. I think you make a lot of people happy.
Even the darkness of it.
By a lot of people, I mean 3/4 of the fan base. That's how many people you'd make happy.
I'd say more than that, even.
Right, but I mean, I didn't want to say 100% because I don't want to assume.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to think we're excluding.
There might be 20 people that are like, "Where are the big CGI versions?"
That's fine too.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't want to exclude those people. So there's that, and then there's the mainline comic, which currently, as of issue 10 is being written by still Jason Aaron, and being drawn by Juan Ferreira. I think Freya. Not sure how to pronounce his name.
I think it keeps switching, doesn't it?
Well, for right now, it's those two. But after issue 12, also announced at Comic-Con, there will be a new creative team starting with issue 13. And issue 13 comes out in December. I don't know why so far away, given that issue 11 will come out makes sense. Issue 11 comes out in September. Issue 12.
Issue 11 would be August.
Oh.
Because 10 was July.
Right. So 11 is August. 12 is September. There's going to be an annual in October. And then
so taking a month break, yeah.
And there's going to be a month with nothing.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So in December, the new creative team will be writer Jean Lun Yang, who wrote graphic novels including American-Born Chinese and Superman Smashes the Klan.
Oh, okay.
He also did, which was great, for anybody that hasn't read that. He also did, I think it was a 12 to 20 issue stint on the Batman Superman book, not the World's Finest one, the one before that.
I don't remember that one.
That was, you might not have read that, but I thought that was pretty interesting. Some of the stuff he did in there was really, really cool. So I'm totally on board with him as a writer. And he talked about just himself being a fan of the animated series, the original animated series growing up. But he also likes the darker, grittier Mirage comics that started the franchise and is going to try and keep the balance that Jason Aaron has created in the book. And then on art is Freddie E. Williams II. He's done a lot of the Turtles work over the years.
That name sounds familiar.
Chris, your video is off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
I'm trying to fix that now.
Okay, I just wanted to make it clear, but he's done a lot of Turtles work over the years. It's largely been crossovers or covers. So he's done. Remember when Batman and the Turtles had their
with Tiny.
He did those. He did the recent Masters of the Universe TMNT books. So he's had experience with the Turtles. He's just never done them in a standalone book, and really hasn't done the interiors for the solo book. So this is a first go at it for him. So I'm happy with the creative team, to be honest with you.
It sounds good to me. I'm not incredibly familiar with either one of them, but I have seen the art before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm good. I think if he says he wants to continue Jason Aaron's work, that works. That's cool to me. Because I think Jason Aaron's really got something here.
I'm sure it's going to be there's going to be a lot of touches from or nods to the OG animated series.
Yeah.
Just because that's his sort of base of fandom. But I don't know if he's going to go lean too heavy into that, just because there's an entire book set in that continuity. So if you want to read that version, you have your own, there's an ongoing series that's already doing that.
Yeah, the Saturday morning cartoon one. But
yeah, which is also great. But yeah.
Just because it has touches, so that doesn't mean it'll be that. I think that also we got to see where this thing ends at 12,
Yeah. Which having caught up, I'm very curious where that's going to end.
I'm assuming we're headed towards some kind of large scale showdown, but we'll see.
It's going to be good, at least based on what I read. What I read from issue 10 left me intrigued, but we're not there yet. We got a ways to go before we get there review wise. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break, and then on the other side of the break, we will come back and talk issues 1 through 4 of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we're back. And as promised, we're going to talk about issues 1 through 4 of the Jason Aaron run of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ongoing series. There is a picture of Chris now. We were unable to figure out his technical difficulties. We'll blame it on, for the sake of this purpose, we'll blame it on Krang.
That son of a so-and-so.
Yeah, and we'll leave it there. Maybe this is a TMNT DC crossover, and it's a combination of Krang and Brainiac. Who knows? But
I kind of want to see that now.
I do too. But in the meantime, hopefully by the next time Chris and I get together, the camera will be back in order. But you can see a picture of him, so there's that. So what I find really interesting about this first 4 issues, Chris, is that the 4 brothers are separated, and each issue focuses on a particular turtle.
Mm-hmm.
That is, for me, a very new situation to watch unfold. In most of the media that I've consumed involving the Turtles, they're always together. Even in the Last Ronin, so to speak.
Well, in the Mutant Mayhem animated series, they're separated.
Yes, but you see them together throughout the episode, right?
I don't remember. I think that it's different though. It's like each character has a story.
So what usually happens is basically we learned that the story being told is the four brothers each of the brothers are sitting together. They're telling the story here.
Oh, right, yeah.
April. So at some point in the episode, you flash and you see all four of them sitting in the sewer together, right? So,
gotcha.
But this was the first one where for most of the issue, right up until the end of the first one, it's each individual turtle gets the spotlight. And it's very jarring right away. Like you start off with Raphael in jail, which is like, okay.
Did you know that was coming?
I did not see that coming. No.
Okay. Yeah, when I read it for the first time, that I didn't read anything about what the issue was. I just okay, it's new TMNT, Jason Aaron, it's a #1. I'm just going to read it.
And the funny part about that was, it was jarring, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Given Raph's temperament and the situations he gets himself into, I'm not shocked. I'm surprised, but I'm not shocked.
I kind of felt the same way. Like this kind of fits for Raph.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it tracks. But then you find out that he's got himself into some trouble. Not anything that he's been accused of per se, or what the other inmates think he's done, but he's worked out a deal with the warden where he's going to keep the other inmates in line and sort of keep track of any kind of nefarious, jailbreaks or anything like that. And once he does that to the satisfaction of the warden, then the warden will pull some strings and get him released. And you see that, in the issue, that he does stop a prison break scenario.
He's pretty active, but we don't. One thing about this issue that it doesn't bug me, but I guess I just want more of it. We don't find out what he actually did.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
and I don't know if that's something they're going to address later on, or if it's just a non-issue at this point. Again, it doesn't. It's not like a bad thing. It's just I want more of this story,
right?
Which I guess is good if you look at it that way.
Sure.
I like what I'm reading. I just want more.
Are they gonna tell it? Is the $1 million question?
I don't think so, because we're so far from that now. I don't see them going.
And we're so close to the end of Jason Aaron's tenure, right?
Yeah, it's probably not a reason to go back for.
But what occurs is a new group of inmates come in, and it's revealed that they are ninja, specifically the Foot Clan. So they attack Raphael as a diversion, and they kill the warden, and basically set Raphael to set it up to look like Raphael killed the warden.
Mm-hmm.
To which then he has to break out, because he realizes they're after me and probably my brothers. So I have to go find the others and warn them so we can stop the Foot. But what I find interesting is another thing that they allude to is the breakup of the four brothers. Like what set them off on their own separate paths. They still haven't told us what that is. It's just something that not each one of them seems to have a perspective on what was the breaking point.
Well,
but none of them want to talk about it.
I think the thing about these issues are, and we're going to have to touch on this in another issue, but this is not a standalone series. This does take place within the continuity that they set.
Yes.
And that was kind of a surprise to me because I thought it was a standalone. So I'm sure the reason they split is in the previous iteration, wherever it left off.
Well, I did read the previous iteration, and there's elements that you can see why they split, but
I think it was Splinter's death is probably why they split. That's probably a spoiler, but I'm sure you guys have read the book already.
That didn't help matters. It just like it frayed the team for sure. But they kept going on for years.
Okay, yeah.
There
Then I
were
don't know.
issues. There were issues in years that took place. That wasn't the only issue.
I just assumed it would have been explained like if
It
you
all
had
it
read the
all
previous stuff.
what it seemed to be like with me was the consequences of Donnie's time traveling that caused further rifts between them.
Could be, yeah.
And I remember in previous issues they had talked about going their own separate ways, and they did to a degree, but the way they left things, it was like, yeah, we're okay. We just need our own separate space.
This is different.
We'll come back together eventually. But in my head, I'm thinking, okay, something else must have happened that we're not privy to that just made things worse.
Yeah, because this doesn't seem like, oh yeah, we'll hang out later, guys. This is not that.
Doesn't seem like, hey, we're taking a little bit of a break for vacation. We'll be back,
Yeah, no, this is something happened. They split. I mean, Raph is in prison. The other three didn't even know that.
Yeah, and the other thing I find really interesting is that Raph starts thinking that he belongs in prison and kind of starts to like it because he can vent out his anger.
Which is so fitting for him.
Oh, I just love watching him beat up the other inmates.
It's cool.
It's so cool. Like it's like he just
like there's that line I could tell by their eyes who has a shiv.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I love this. More Raph in prison. I know that's weird to say, but I would read more Raph in prison.
And then the art was spectacular by, what is it, Joel Jones, I think, did the first.
Yeah, this first issue, I think, has the best art of the first four.
100%. She was spectacular.
She killed it, yeah.
Just absolutely beautiful. And that last page of like a Raph, jumping down to the sewer part of the previous inmates had made their escape route in, and just running, like taking off like that. The way it kind of like stopped at that moment, I was like, man, that looks so cool.
Another thing about the art in that moment is Raph looks different there than he did in the prison. That looks like classic Raph.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now he's the TMNT version that I'm.
Right, it's like, okay, Raph is back.
Yeah, it's like, okay, he's returned, right?
I thought that was a cool transition. Like he goes to the sewer, now it's real Raph again.
And to make that the last page, right? I'm like, oh, just
all four issues end on little cliffhangers that are wonderful.
But are also terrible when you have to wait a month between each issue.
Oh, yeah. It was irritating at the start of the year, but now I'm like, oh, this is great because I could read them in one sitting.
The beauty of rereading once you have them all in front of you is that, I don't have to wait. It's great.
Yeah, you just flow through and it works really well.
In the second issue, unless there's anything more specific you want to talk about the Raph issue.
This is a commentary on all four of them. They're really easy reads.
I reread them today while I was waiting for you to get here. And it was a breezy, brisk read. And
they're not overly dialogue heavy, but they get the points across, and there's plenty of good dialogue.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's not too much; it's a perfect amount.
I agree. So the second issue is Michelangelo. And man, is he in a different place entirely than I would have expected. He is a TV star in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
The TV show he's on, where he's essentially his own self, like he's a Ninja Turtle. But it's kind of Ninja Turtles meets Power Rangers because he fights kaiju.
Which now I want to see the TMNT fight.
I would welcome as well.
We kind of get it in the movie, but I want to see it in the comic.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. And like he's a big celebrity. Like he's Tom Cruise level popular over there. But the problem is he's lonely as hell when all the executives and fans and you know, all when the paparazzi stop taking their pictures and Mikey has time to unwind, he's by himself. And he's alone. And I felt so bad for him just because of how much that character loves to be around. As much as they all fight, like he loves being around his brothers, and he loves being around people.
Yeah, I love what this issue did with him, though. Like the idea of the show is really, really fun. I like that a lot, and I also like that this kind of spins Mikey in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I was thinking when I was reading this, both times I've read it, is that I could see how this Mikey gets to Last Ronin. It's like the seeds are here, even though they're not supposed to be. I mean, it's not the same thing. But I can see how this one would transition because he is more serious. He is a little bit harder in this one. And I just kind of like his attitude here. He's still fun and everything, but you could tell this is a mature version of Mikey.
He is more serious, but I think that's the nature. Like his circumstance has made him that way.
Yes, he's grown.
Yeah, right. Like it's the fact that he's on his own and he's by himself.
Yeah, and I like that. I thought that was a nice twist. And you know, where Raph was basically in his element still, Mikey is not. Mikey's out of his element.
Oh yeah, Mikey's totally out of whack in terms of what he's used to, for sure.
Yeah, he even mentions that in the story he can't even go out on the streets to look for trouble or something because there's always paparazzi following him.
Yeah.
So he can't even do what he's used to.
Which is not what the Turtles are accustomed to. It's like it's like I said, he is the equivalent of like a Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found funny about, just before we get into the big, third act kind of thing, there was a scene where he's filming the TV show and he hits the stunt double really hard with the nunchaku, and he's all worried because he forgets that they're foam.
Yeah,
they're fake, right? But I like that he comments. He's like, "Oh, after years of actually fighting off people who are trying to kill you, it's hard to turn off that instinct of going full force." And I'd imagine that would be true, right? Like if you were, it must be. I'd imagine it's difficult for a trained, let's say, MMA fighter or martial artist to do what they do for real, and then have to go on a movie set and then be like, okay, now hit the person or get as close as possible, but don't actually hurt. Like to have to pull that, that punch, or that, right? And I can kind of a little bit speak to some experience of that in the sense that I'm not famous by any means. Nobody knows who the hell I am outside of my own little circle. But when I'm training karate, right, if I'm hitting a pad or breaking a piece of wood, I'm putting my full force into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're doing self-defense or sparring with somebody, you have to pull your punches. And there's that balance of, okay, well, make it look like I'm going to do the thing, but then get just close enough, but don't actually don't actually tag the person. You know what I mean? So it's
like wrestling.
So I kind of like that explanation. Like it made me smile. But it's like, okay, that's actually kind of true to life. I dig that.
I like that. I like the narration that went along with it. I think Jason Aaron did a great job with each of the turtles doing the narration, but Mikey specifically stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Because it was just different than what I was used to with him.
Yeah.
He's not skateboarding and eating pizza.
Yeah. And then he eats some frozen pizza and apparently he thinks it's gone bad, but he's actually been poisoned by the Foot Clan.
Mm-hmm. Which
and
was
they
smart.
Attack. Yeah. I mean, hit him where you know he's going to.
Right.
And when they attack, he starts seeing his brothers. And they're criticizing him and belittling him. And again, it just further emphasizes the fracture of whatever happened between the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I loved the fight scenes between Mikey and the Foot Clan and the way they were drawn. Like those looked really, really good.
I like the fight scenes, but I didn't love the art in this book.
Okay.
I thought the turtles themselves looked weird.
Which one? Which part?
The turtles themselves, I didn't like the way they were drawn. Like their heads looked like helmets or something.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. And then when it looks like things are just getting worse and worse, Raphael intervenes and helps his brother. But again, in the midst of all that, even they start fighting because Michelangelo's got this pent up aggravation and aggression towards his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very interesting to see. But also the fact that Raph is taken aback by Mikey's aggression just shows you how much he's changed.
Yes, that was another thing I like that they did. Even Raph is surprised by how...
Because Raph, like when they fight, like Raph is always the one to throw the first punch at Michelangelo.
Mm-hmm. And dominate at that point.
And he'll try not to, like Michelangelo tries to hold and not respond, usually, right? So this was new for Raph and shocking. And the issue kind of ends with them in the midst of the fight with the Foot Clan soldiers,
which was a cool fight. Again,
100%.
Especially with the helicopter there.
any last words on the issue 2 before we move on to the Leonardo issue?
It's just another solid one.
Yep. Issue 3 sees Leonardo kind of on a...
I don't know what you call this.
On a retreat, a quest?
It was like something from the show.
Some kind of Zen quest or something.
Yeah. He was meditating, like when Wolverine goes in the Canadian wilderness to relax.
Yeah, that's a good... And he was saving some turtles that were being poached.
But these same turtles were eating dead bodies.
Very strange. It was very strange.
The first time I read this issue, I actually didn't like it very much. I thought it was fine, but I didn't really like it too much. But rereading it, I think I might love this issue. And I really appreciate the art the second time around, too.
I like it. I don't love it. I think it's the worst of the 3, but I still like it, if that makes sense.
Ooh, you know what? I'd probably say, yeah, out of the 4, it is...
Sorry, the 4, yeah.
I think it is the weakest one, but I think I love it. It's still really... I like, all of them are good. They're all great.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But this one I think might be the weakest just because it's so out there in a way.
Yeah.
But I also appreciate that now.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I liked about it too was there was a moment where when the poachers attack, Donnie, sorry, Leo, Leo, is hiding in like the trees and the bushes. And I don't know about you, but it gave me kind of like a Rambo moment.
Kind of.
It reminded me of, I'm like, hey, Rambo, all right, now we're cooking.
Yeah, kind of. I can see that one.
And again, there's a lot of helicopter action in this. In this book, like the last book had a helicopter at the end, and this one, like helicopters must have been like the word of the day.
Maybe, but in this one, like Leo's in a remote. He's in a remote area, so I think you need a helicopter to get to him. I think that's the way it seemed, anyway.
Oh yeah. It was a necessity for sure.
But yeah, a helicopter is the word. Any kind of flying vehicle is the word of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we don't even know how Raph got to Mikey.
Oh, I have no. Yeah, who knows? It's a mystery.
Yeah, I don't even care. But it just. This issue is really tame, though, too. And there's not really a lot that happens.
Yeah, it's very until the end. It's very quiet, very somber. Again, it mimics Leonardo's kind of Zen quest in the middle.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to take a breath with Leo in this issue, because like 1 and 2 are a lot, and then this one you take the breath with Leo, and you get ready for what is about to happen in 4, which is a whole other thing.
And I will echo your sentiment. I actually quite like the art for this one. And then what was cool about the end is that we meet up with, we go back to the scene with Mikey and Raph.
Mm-hmm.
And, the foot are attacking, and Donnie actually not Donnie, Leo actually, I think it was him that crashed the helicopter into the building.
Yes.
And then so they're disoriented, and they're getting up and about to argue with each other again. And then all of a sudden Leo goes into like vintage leader mode. Is like, that's enough, you two. We gotta go save Donnie.
And in that moment, Leo also looks like the classic version too.
Yeah, it's like the artist purposely like, okay, now we're gonna draw them like you all remember them when you were kids.
It's like if this were like a video game or a movie, like a spotlight would go on them and they'd have that moment.
And the reaction from both Raph and Mikey, they're like, shut up, Leo. And as I was reading that, I'm like, oh, we're home. This is what I know.
We're back.
We're back, right? As we were messaging yesterday about a different subject that we're going to record about soon. But yeah, yes, you know what? Actually, revisiting this issue, discussing it, actually made me like it a little bit more. So there we go. It worked.
I think what also helps with this particular issue is, like we said earlier, you can read them in the one sitting. When I read this one, monthly, I was like, what was that? I didn't dislike it, but I was disappointed. I was like, okay, well, it's fine. It's good. It's fine. It's not the other two. But now reading it in succession, like, oh, this is a really good issue.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But yeah, so there you go. You've made me warm up to the issue even more. Well done.
You got to embrace the Zen.
Well done. That's it. You've become the Leonardo of this podcast. I guess I'd be more Raphael because I'm always, Well, I wouldn't say always. I've been good since Superman came out. But
You've been good.
certain people on the internet pissed me off, and believe me, if I could, I'd punch them in the face and fight them like Raphael does to the inmates. But I figure I'd be fighting a bunch of people that are 14 on the internet.
Yeah,
so it's probably not worth the it's probably not worth the hassle. Or single people who or married people who, instead of paying attention to their wives, sit in their basement and hashtag stupid things. But so I don't want to do that. But so I've tried to be more zen like Leonardo the last few months. But so we'll see how it's working. And plus, neither here nor there. But the Superman movie gave me the gift of Green Lantern giving people the finger with a construct, so I could just use that now. Yeah. And I'm much more at peace.
Zen.
You know who's not at peace? Donatello in issue 4.
Okay, so I gotta.
What a segue that is! Yeah, I'm gonna pat myself on the back like Mr. Perfect with that one.
I don't even know where to start with this thing. I did not expect this for Donatello. I didn't expect this for any of the Turtles, but his story is wild.
I'm going to keep this PG-13 because it's a Ninja Turtles podcast, but he's effed up.
Yeah, so when it starts out with him doing the narration about the time travel and his shell's like, what the hell happened?
Like this, this poor dude is like, I don't know if psychiatry can fix him at this point.
I think he's on the road to getting fixed, but
but at this point,
when we meet him, he's not there. And also, like, I know he, since it's in continuity, he did get killed by Bebop and Rocksteady, so I get it. But he is something else in this book, and his story is so miserable and sad. I think that this issue also has, in my opinion, the worst art of the 4. I don't like the art at all in this book. It's just an eyesore for me.
It's I try to be as nice as I can when I'm criticizing art, because I my stance is, look, I can't draw.
It's still better than anything I could do. I
can't draw worth shit. So like, if I was drawing this book, first of all, it'd be stick people or stick turtles.
I can't even do stick turtles,
and nobody would buy it, because who wants to look at the stick Ninja Turtles?
I buy it.
What's that?
I buy it for you.
Well, thank you. But that's why, and again, I'm not tooting my own horn. It's been years. But when I co-wrote my own comic book with a friend of mine, I actually paid. We actually paid for a legitimate artist who could draw to actually do it, because, again, if either of us had done it, nobody would have bought the thing. And it's a miracle that the people that bought it because the fact that we wrote it and people bought it was a miracle in and of itself. Imagine if one of us tried to draw it, nobody would have bought it. But yeah, this art, and I can't remember who the artist was. I think it was
a familiar artist, because I know their style, and usually their style doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it was too.
I call it scratchy.
Thank you. That's a good word. That's what I was looking for. It's scratchy, very scratchy.
It's not for me. I mean, again, it's better than anything I can do. It's just not my preferred style of art.
You know what? I like I gotta, as much as I was feeling sad for Michelangelo in his issue, my heart broke for Donnie.
No comparison.
But you know what? The fact that he got caught in this sort of this mutant
fight club.
It was like a mutant fight club, but in the sense that they would their captors wrangled all these mutants up, and a lot of people to come to this farm area and pay to fight and beat the crap out of these mutants who were malnourished and being held hostage and mistreated and all that. So it was never a fair fight. But every time somebody came in to fight, Donatello would make sure that he was the one that everybody chose to spare the lives of the potential lives of the other mutants. And I'm like, that just shows you what a hero, what kind of a hero he really is. And
it's kind of like a defining moment for the character. As beaten down and crazy as he is, he's still that hero, you know.
And what's amazing, what's amazing about that is, I think if you ask a lot of people, they always, I mean, I'm sure Donatello has a lot of fans, but people that I come in contact with often dismiss Donatello because he's more involved with the tech stuff, the science stuff, where the other three brothers fight and do most of the kicking ass, right?
I'd say that's probably accurate. Yeah,
they get a lot of the accolades, but here, like Donatello beats some ass in this issue. At one point, everybody he's ever fought comes in and pays a crap ton of money to gang up on him and basically take him out.
I think to kill him, yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to sanitize it, but yeah.
Murder.
But Chris just went right now. They were gonna kill him.
Murder.
Let's not beat around the bush.
They wanted to murder a turtle.
And he just destroys them.
Even with his frail state, he destroys them. And he outsmarts them too, which is even better. It's still Donnie.
Yeah, but the other thing that shows you what heroes, I think all four turtles are, is that when all those people come in and decide, hey, we're going to beat the crap out of this turtle, you know, and his captors were just watching it with glee, kind of waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
When the Foot Clan breaks in and wants to attack, in spite of all that, Donatello defends his captors.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and his opponents and everybody he takes over.
Like, I don't know, like if you want more of a selfless hero in fiction. I mean, we're not talking real life here, but in fiction, I don't know that you're going to find one more in that moment.
This, like I said, this is a defining moment for Donatello because I never thought of him as the hero. Like, yes, he is a hero, but not like this. This is different.
Yeah.
You know, normally I would think Leo would do something like this, or even Raph, not Donatello.
Right. And the other thing, sorry, go ahead.
I was saying it really reminds me of the rocket stuff from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I will say this issue gave me a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt from it.
Now I kind of see. Now that we said that, I kind of want to see James Gunn direct the TMNT movie. Okay, I got a solution. Let's have a crossover with Paramount because both Warner Brothers and Paramount could use a little extra money, and let's make the TMNT Batman crossover.
You know that his humor would even fit really well with TMNT.
Come on, now, Chris, don't you want to see that live action Batman TMNT crossover now?
I love the animated one, so yeah, do it live action, but maybe cut out the mutation.
Listen, James, I don't know if you're listening to this. Why would you listen to a Ninja Turtles podcast or
maybe he likes it,
or our Ninja Turtles podcast? Because God knows, I mean, you answered me that one time when I tried to trick you into telling me what the Batsuit would look like, and you didn't. I think as compensation, I should get to read the Batman Part 2 script, but that's neither here nor there. But on the off chance that you're listening to this or watching or listening to this, let's make that movie. I mean, let's do that crossover. Forget the crossover with the MCU. I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see it either.
Give me the Turtles and Batman crossover.
Yeah.
I think that would be a moneymaker. Just, I don't know. But one of the cool parts of the issue is when the other three brothers arrive. We're going to save Donatello.
Yeah.
And they walk in, and there's like, I don't know how
bodies everywhere.
It seems like there's probably not that many people, but it seems like 300 people are on the floor. And Donatello is standing frail but triumphantly atop this mountain of broken bodies.
With a dead rat on his shoulder.
That was the best part of the art, was that image.
Especially with the star still in the rat's head.
Yeah.
body.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about the rat. Because Donatello, throughout his captivity, and even after he's defeated all these people, is conversing with this seemingly dead rat because he believes that it's Splinter. Of course, we have later issue knowledge, so we're going to exclude that for a second. But man, how damaged is this poor SOB?
I don't want to spoil anything from the issues ahead, but I think the way the rat is handled,
it's fantastic. Yeah,
it really is fantastic. Yes, but also it's hard to say this without spoiling things, but you really understand where the other three are coming from when they see him with the rat.
And you know what's I love the fact, and you guys who are watching this and listening to this will see as you read further, or if you have read further. But once he said, "Look, guys, it's Splinter." Michelangelo's the first champion in vintage inappropriate Michelangelo. He's like, "But Donnie," and then the other two, Leonardo and Raphael, without like almost simultaneously as he's saying, "But Donnie," they're like, "Shut up, Mikey."
And I love that. Like they know, just let him have this moment.
Like as much as they're at odds with each other, the love that these four brothers have for each other is leaping off the page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a unit, and I think it really shows.
You know what? I think that's ultimately indicative of how families work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in this hyper fantastical situation of 4 mutant teenage turtles. That core element of a family and a family that fights often, but when they need each other, they're there and they love each other. That is one of the most relatable things that I think we can all sort of latch onto.
I would agree with that.
It's so evident here. I mean, the family stuff is so good in this issue, especially in these last few moments, that I think Vin Diesel would be jealous.
Don't give many ideas. I don't need Vin Diesel as Leonardo.
No, I think we can just leave Vin Diesel out of as many franchises that I love as possible.
Oh, I just got a weird visual of him green with katanas. I don't like it.
Can you imagine him as Splinter? No,
no, he'd be Leonardo. He'd put himself as Leonardo.
Oh, he'd put himself there, but nobody would want him as that.
Well, no, I don't think anybody would want him that. But I'm just saying, if he were in charge, he's Leonardo.
Between him and The Rock, can you imagine them in charge of the TMNT? Let's not.
Oh, I don't even know what that would look like.
I don't want. Yeah, I don't want.
I'm done with this conversation.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that there in hell and hope it never resurfaces.
Leave it in hell.
But yeah, I mean, so again, the issue with the rat will continue to
evolve
to be a situation, but there is clarity. But I will say, when he said, "Look, it's Splinter," my instant reaction was, man, I said two things out loud. I really hate that they killed Splinter. And I really hate that Tom King killed Alfred. I know Alfred has nothing to do with Splinter.
No, but it's one and the same. You're killing their central support characters.
Like stop it.
Well, Tom King was a DC thing. They told him to do it.
I get it, but bring back Splinter and bring back Alfred, damn it.
Yeah, I need the support figures back, folks.
Now, those are hashtags that I would get behind. Potentially.
You know what? Bring them back in the crossover together.
Thank you. There you go, James Gunn. Do it. Make it happen.
Throw them in some Lazarus pits.
Although we don't even know where Alfred is in the DCU at this point. Assuming he's alive. But
Oh yeah, he's alive.
yeah. But yeah, so that brings us to the conclusion of the 4 issues. Chris, how would you rate this, and what are your final thoughts?
Well, one thing I want to touch on before we wrap up,
Of course, yeah.
It's worth mentioning that the central enemy is not Shredder in these books. And also, they had some kind of pact with the Foot Clan when Karai took over,
Yes,
where they weren't
yeah,
even fighting.
Yeah, they were
So,
at peace.
right, something happened, and there's a new DA in New York who has it out for the Turtles,
Yeah,
which if you read on, you'll see why. But that's a really cool element. It's not Shredder this time. It's just somebody else using the foot for now.
And he's in cahoots with
Karai.
Right.
Something has happened. So it's a really cool start to this book, and I think that if you're any kind of TMNT fan, it is worth checking out. Whether you've read every issue from IEW and the other, the times when it's bounced around companies, if you love the movies, the cartoons, whatever, this is a solid TMNT book. I think all 4 of these read together are just a fantastic time.
If you are a fan of, I won't say any vintage, because if you're a kid, read the Saturday Morning Adventures. That's the book for you. But if you're like over the age of 10 or higher, read this book.
I want to see a 10-year-old's reaction to Donnie's issue.
You know what? That may cause some psychiatry for that kid, and I'm here for it.
Maybe they'll relate to Donnie.
I'm going to try with my niece. I'm going to say, here, read this, and try not to be traumatized.
Just enjoy.
She's very sensitive about things. Like
Oh, and then maybe not.
She cries easily. I don't know if I want to do that to her, but
I don't think my kid would be into the animal abuse either.
You know what? Maybe I'll just show her the original live action movie and start there.
If she can handle that, I think that's kind of the entry point. If you can handle the '90s film, the first one,
dies, right? Or
he gets abused.
Yeah, seemingly dies. So.
He's abused in it. So
if you can handle, if she doesn't break down completely with that, I think that she's all right.
Yeah, if you can handle that movie, you can handle this run. But these are great issues. I think it's a really great book. I love what Jason Aaron is doing. This is you know me, I don't read a lot of monthly books anymore, just because I don't have the time, and I honestly forget a lot of them are coming.
Yeah.
But this book is one that I make sure and read every month.
I absolutely love this book. While I was reading the past iteration, and while this keeps that backstory, if you haven't read that past iteration, you're still okay reading this. And believe me, this is kind of a breath of fresh. I can't even talk. A breath of fresh air, because even having read the last 150 issues before the relaunch, even I was getting confused, and I was picking it up monthly. So this is a great jumping on point. I loved how the Turtles started separate and then came together. It made their reunion, even though it's still tenuous, very earned. And I love that. I love that this highlighted the personality of each of the 4 Turtles. And after these first 4, I wanted more. And even though I'm 10 issues deep now, I still want more.
I have a question for you. Do you think that if someone has no idea who the Turtles are, do you think this serves as a good introduction? Because I do.
I do. I mean, you get enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you learn who each 4 of the Turtles is. You get a sense of their personality. You know that they're all brothers. They're all family. Like they tell you, hey, Splinter was our father, but he's dead.
Yeah.
One of us thinks he's a dead rat still, but we'll see.
I think even if you know, even not even the baseline of them, like they're mutated turtles, I think you just go in blindly.
I think you're going to be hard pressed to find somebody that doesn't know.
That's true. Yes.
Something about the TMNT, right? Like, who we talking? Maybe like A 90-year-old grandma maybe doesn't know.
I think even she knows who they are.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so, that's a good point too, I guess.
Like who?
But even still,
so if somebody find me if any of our listeners scour the hellscape of Twitter and all your social media feeds, find the one person that knows nothing about TMNT. I'd like to meet this person.
I want to say when I took my daughter to see Mutant Mayhem, even she knew who they kind of were already. I think
they're just ingrained in pop culture. It's like here. These are that. It's like Superman and Batman and Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sure.
Like what poor soul has never encountered those characters?
I don't know.
I legitimately feel sorry for these people. If they've never encountered one of those 4 characters I mentioned, your life has been sadly lessened by not knowing who these people are. But I can't recommend this enough. And I can't wait to keep reading, even though we're getting a creative team change.
Yeah, I'm excited for whatever's to come.
So let's do a number grade for story and art. Remember, we do 5 for story and 5 for art.
5 for story. It's not. I love it. So I'm easy with these things. 5 for story. Yeah. The art is a little bit more mixed for me, but I'm still gonna go with a 4. I think. Because I like the art in 3 of them quite a bit. It's just this last one. It's too scratchy for me. But in a way, it also kind of goes with the issue because the issue is messy. So I don't know. But I'm going 5 and 4.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go. You turned me around on issue 3. But not enough for a full 5, but you gave it an initial 0.5 point.
Okay.
So I'm going to go 4.5 slices of pizza for the writing.
Oh, I like that scale.
And I could probably eat 4.5 slices of pizza right now. And I'm going to go 4 slices of pizza for art, just because that one issue was not my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
So, 8.5 slices of pizza out of 10.
That's a whole pizza.
I mean, and if I was on an empty stomach, I could probably eat that. But I'm older now, so my eating.
You may regret it later.
I can't eat the way I used to, which makes me sad. But
it makes me sad. I can't eat a whole pizza by myself.
Not sad enough as Donnie thinking a dead rat is his father, but.
Yeah, that's a whole other kind.
That's a whole other level of sad. But we're gonna end there on the sad note and happy note. But pick up these issues; they're great. Get on board with the new issue or new series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles if you're a fan of any vintage, and we promise you won't be disappointed. In the meantime, if you want to talk with Chris or I on social media about the TMNT, you can. Chris, where do they track you down?
You guys can follow me on Twitter if you like. It's that Chris70. I do a bunch of different bullshit. You can find it all there.
And it's good bullshit. Not dumb bullshit like some people do online. But Chris does good stuff. So I definitely recommend it. You can find me at Adam_LeafsFan on Twitter. A version of that handle with some other nonsense is on Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram too. I'll put one or two of them. I'll put them in the description. We have a Facebook group, which I will also link in the description. You can click there. I will add you. We can continue the conversation there if you so choose. But remember, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are forever. From the first time Donatello talks about a dead rat being Splinter to the last. So long, everybody.